How's it going, guys? Today is Monday, December the 12th, and we got the house torn down last week. Everything's cleared out now, and they're here to excavate, dig out the new basement. The old house foundation was just these field rocks. He was easily able to dig that apart, and just gonna bury that here in the front yard. He got all the tree stumps dug out of the way. I noticed he had some rocks there, so hopefully that's not going to be too big of an issue. So I talked to him a little bit. He's going to see how many of these rocks are sticking up throughout the whole basement. Hopefully they taper off here. He likes to dig along the back edge and then going to pull everything that way. We dug that whole heifer pit. That was a year and a half ago. Didn't hit any rocks hardly that whole thing. Nope, I'm gonna keep working here. I just went to the tire shop and picked up this wheel that we were getting repaired for our robot scraper. They put a better foam in it, so it should hold up better than the original. The tire itself is still in good shape. It's less than a year old. So I'm just gonna put this back on here and we'll get this put back in the barn. Just upgraded my camera to a GoPro Hero 9. So it should do better with smoothing out the footage. I should be able to run and it'll still look nice and smooth. These wheels are easy to put on. You just have to make sure this little key is in place. Just gonna go get the skid steer and we'll drive it onto the bucket, haul it up there. Should work a lot better now. Tires are fixed and it's got a new scraper blade. Once the scraper blade starts wearing out, it drags a little bit more. Got some nice looking dirt in that section. Hopefully those rocks are kind of sloping down, and by the time we get to the center of the basement, they're below. One thing I need to do right now is calibrate the gyroscope. It takes a couple minutes, and then after that we should be able to set it to run. These scrapers definitely haven't been perfect. Dealt with my share of issues with them. Kind of got them figured out now. The routes work really well. They don't crash unless something's wrong with them. We just really miss them when they're not working. The one on this side is still running here. You can see how nice these floors are. I like being able to walk into the pen with my work boots on, not worrying about getting too much manure on them. I drove it over to the charger and then started the route. The only thing I worry about is this first pass. If it hasn't run for a couple days, there's a lot of manure there. Could potentially cause a problem. It's made to go about every hour, and then it only has to deal with a little bit of manure. Well, it's driving straight now. That's a good sign. front of the pen will work fine. The problem is this back area, right along the back wall. It's just usually a lot of manure kind of builds up there. Not a lot of cows walk in that area, so it's more build up. As the robot was coming along the back, it kind of got hung up there. It was just too much manure. So I drove it back to the charger. I'm gonna have the milkers just pen the cows back like we would be bedding this afternoon, and then come through the skid steer and scoop that manure up a little bit. They're actually starting milking now, so I can do that pretty soon. I thought maybe he was trying to break into the top of the cistern, or maybe he was just trying to break the rock apart. I'm not sure. Scraper should be good to go now. So to get rid of most of that manure. Now it'll run every hour. Should keep up great. We're getting somewhere. It's got some big rocks on this side, but it looks like it's better towards that side. It is the next day here. They're still working at getting the basement dug. Got all these stumps he dug out yesterday. I should haul these out of here right now. Might have some trouble with this big one though. And try to burn them. I don't know if they're gonna burn the best though. There's a lot of dirt and they're not that dry. They brought a jackhammer in to get rid of these rocks. Thankfully the rocks weren't throughout the whole basement. It could have been worse than it is, but it's definitely gonna take him some time to get those rocks broken up. I'm gonna grab the skid loader and see if I can lift these stumps out of the way. We got some really good weather right now. They're calling for rain the end of the week. They really want to try to get the footers poured before it gets muddy again. Not sure they're gonna want to burn too easily. Yeah, that Norway maple stump is way too heavy. I could maybe roll it out there, but it's way too much for the skid loader to try and pick up. I don't know. Got all the small ones out of there. They worked at the basement for another day today. Got most of the big rock knobs out. He still needs to take some out. It's like 16 inches need to come down right there. He has some paint on some of the high spots, so it's gonna take a little more work. They're calling for rain the end of the week, so I think they're gonna just try to get it dug out and ready for concrete next week. Once they get it out of the ground, they don't have to worry about the weather slowing them down quite as much. Especially once the roof's on it, that'll be really nice. Hopefully in another month or something, month and a half, I guess.